Good morning, Washington and Baltimore. How y'all doing, everybody? Today is the 30th of August. Summer is quickly winding down. There's a wonderful style section in the Post today. Of course, you know, it's nice to see how little print there is on the front page and how many big pictures and white space they had to fill the fact that disguise the fact that there ain't a lot of copy of this. Although I have to say, honestly, I actually think it's a better paper without the reliable source column. I really do. This names and faces column is fine. They don't fluff it up with a bunch of big pictures and white space, and it's to the point, and it's just got the standard gossip stuff on it. And I think it's actually better written than the reliable source thing. It's actually a little bit better. And it's certainly not worse. So, there's a place, there's two salaries the Post could cut and really not take much of a hit in the quality department. And also, not having Lisa de Moraes TV column. She's been on vacation out there in LA for a couple of weeks. I haven't seen her column lately. If the paper isn't all that much worse, the style section's pretty worthless to begin with, and it isn't much more worthless without the reliable source column and without Lisa de Moraes. They still get some news in there. What is it? We still find out that MTV gets a record audience for one of its shows. We don't need Lisa to tell us that. And of course, if you want some detailed TV news, you can always go to Nikki Fink there, or Deadline Hollywood, or you can go to, what is it? There's a bunch of cool TV rating sites, so you don't need Lisa at all. And I don't think the Post is all that much worse. I do not see a correction in the paper lately about Saturday's. There's the HFS 97.5 we're listening to.
Promises, obviously, the song. A whole new sound kind of break, and it's really enjoying it, too.
That's not a bad station. I like it.
The Lemonheads had one great disc, one that everybody had to
That's a cool station.
If you're old and tell you it's a shame about Ray. So great, in fact, that even
Hurricane, if you want a good hurricane movie, this is one of the best. It's not a hurricane disaster movie, but it's a really cool classic. Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Edward Robinson, and Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall. Key Largo. It's a wonderful movie where a hurricane plays a big part in the movie, but it isn't really a disaster movie. It's one of my favorite hurricane movies, so catch this one up. And what else do we got today? I should be putting this on, right? I should be putting this on while I'm doing this. This is my Baltimore Sun tie. See this one? Isn't that cool, Mona? Look at that. It's got the Baltimore Sun all over it and images of downtown Baltimore. Gosh, you know what? I haven't worn a tie in so long that I actually forget how to tie one. Let me see if I can still remember. Over and under and under. It's one of those things you never forget as a guy. It's like riding a bike. You never forget how to put on a tie. How's that look? Not too good. I should hang myself with this, right? DCRTV Dave was found hanged in his condo wearing a Baltimore Sun tie. Well, anyhow, I don't know. It's starting to freak me out a little bit. I run stuff on DCRTV. For instance, last Thursday I wrote that Sherry Ellicker was leaving WBAL. She's the local radio vet who's been doing the afternoon news block over there. And I wrote a rumbling, and then on Friday morning we confirmed it. And then, of course, a few hours later, David Zurawik of the Baltimore Sun puts a big story up about Sherry Ellicker leaving. Okay, okay. It was big media news. Maybe he got it independently of us. I don't know. But, it just seems weird because there's so many things we put up and then he puts up. But he's always after us. Jen Royal, for example, who's, a personality in 105.7, sports talker there in Baltimore, and used to be on Mass. And, we reported that she might be going up to Boston. But we also reported that she's pulled her $800,000 defamation suit against WNST personality Nestor and owner Nestor Aparicio. We reported that, and of course, a couple days later, there it is on David Zurawik's blog. No reference that we, not as seen in DCRTV, as reported by DCR, as first reported by DCR. No. So there's two stories there. And then I'm cutting around yesterday, and I'm looking around, and then we had a bunch of things on DCRTV about some power problems at WBAL radio. The storm must have done BG&E's, their wires are down places, and so WBAL 1090, one of the major stations in Baltimore, was off the air for 4 or 5 hours. And I reported that. And then a couple hours later, there it is on David Zurawik's blog. I don't know. It just seems to me, I do know that reporters at newspapers use my site for story ideas. I know that. It's always happened. We've reported stuff. We reported Donnie Simpson was leaving PGC, and then it shows up in the Post a week or two later. We reported that Doug McElway was leaving, getting canned from Channel 7, and it shows up in the Post 2 or 3 weeks later. We reported that Dan Snyder was buying WTEM, and it shows up in the Post a couple of days later. It's like that happens all the time, and they never, almost never give us any credit. It doesn't say it. I think Paul Furry once in like the second to the last paragraph said, a version of this story was reported on DCR-TV. But Zurawik, it's getting a little too coincidental that every time something Baltimore media appears on DCR-TV, it appears on Zurawik. He gets it a couple hours or a day or two later. I don't know. That's what the Baltimore Sun has come to, I guess. That is the ethical journalistic quality of the Baltimore Sun, which basically looks like, as I've said, a tiny little thin thing that looks like a grocery store shopper. It's thin. I don't even think they do the layout in Baltimore anymore. It's done in Chicago somewhere. It's a shadow of a newspaper. And I tell you, Zurawik is a perfect example of the decline of that paper. He's just not very good. It's kind of sad. But, I call him as I see him. If he wants to come back and say, hey, I never look at your site, I just happen to get all the same stories as you a couple hours later, it's just a crazy coincidence, maybe I'll believe him. Oh. All right. What are we hearing? Russ Thaler, there's a lot of rumblings that he's leaving Comcast SportsNet and all that. Where's he going? I was thinking, there's an anchor vacancy there at Channel Nino. Or is that Nino? What is it? Ocho Nueve, Channel Nueve, Canal Nueve, WUFA. But apparently, no. We're not. He might go to Channel 9, but the more rumors are saying Versus. Comcast SportsNet to Versus. Comcast NBC, they merged and all that. So Comcast NBC owns Comcast SportsNet, and they also own Versus. So that makes sense. So when it happens in a week or two, and nobody credits DCRTV for first reporting it, you'll at least know, right? Oh, wow. All right, folks. No more rants today on Chris Plant, man. I did find it funny, though. The right-wing media issued some kind of a marching order yesterday. Let's tie the fact that Hurricane Isabel wasn't as bad as everybody thought, and let's try to slam the liberal media, and let's also try to slam Obama with it, and you hear Chris Plant, then you hear Rush Limbaugh, then you hear Sean Hannity, and then they just like march in lockstep with the same marching orders. It's kind of sad, and you got to say to yourself, look, Hurricane Irene wasn't as bad when it hit New York as they had forecast, but it really did a lot of damage in Upper New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York. It did a lot of damage in New Jersey. It did, there's still 400,000 or 500,000 people in Virginia without power. Richmond, Tidewater, the D.C. area, huge trees down. Maybe it wasn't quite as bad in every place as they'd forecast, but it still did a lot of damage. And I'm not saying it wasn't overhyped, but I don't think it was a great liberal conspiracy to get, that's nuts. And it just shows you how, I guess when you're Chris Plant and you've got 3 hours to fill and you don't know what the hell to talk about, it's just get some bizarre little crazy thing. I tell you, it's kind of sad that talk radio has come to this. It's pretty bad. All right, folks, there we go. Salute to the Baltimore Sun, which was a great paper. Past tense. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget, sign up for DCRDV Plus before the end of the month. 2 years for the price of one, $39, and you get to pick a Shirt Shack T-shirt like this one. Okay? Yeah, they ran hard classic rock on 94.7. They got better ratings than 105.9. What the hell? This is still available. You can have this in your mailbox by middle of next week if you make a $39 donation to DCRDV before the end of the month. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Cut. Print!